our reliability of our engines, in our worldwide customer support network, and also in our solutions that we provide our customers. And that's what we'll take the time to go through with you in the next hour on what we're doing for our customers and what makes us an industry leader. I'd like to take a minute to also mention we're also 90 years old, so we're not a new player in the market. We're approaching our 90-year anniversary, and we will be fabricating, and I hope I'm not spoiling it, but our 100,000th engine this year. So another big milestone. I'll just go back. So in terms of our segments, you may already know we have our PT6 family of engines, so we are in the general aviation segment. We have our turbofan, our business jet segment. We have our regional aircraft and regional engines with our PW100s. And we also are in the APU business, and we have assumed all the APU business from our United Technologies sister company, Hamilton Sundstrand. We've actually taken it over under Pratt & Whitney Canada's umbrella. And of course, our turboshaft helicopter engine family of engines with our PT6s again and our PW200s. And you can see here some of the applications that we power from the business aviation regional market. When you look at ATRs and Bombardiers, our military market, our general aviation, of course, our PT6 engine is very prominent in our general aviation market. And it's also carried over to our civil helicopters, and we've also introduced most recently our PW210 engine that we'll talk about in a bit. And of course, our aftermarket, we have a customer first center, which is second to none. We have support to our customers 24/7 worldwide through our customer first center in Longueuil in Montreal, our headquarters, and also in Singapore that can also communicate in 13 plus languages. So we do have a coverage across the world for every one of our customers at any time. And of course, we'll talk to you a little bit about our latest, our service center network and all the solutions that we are creating for our customers. On the top, you'll see 700 million hours. And when we talk about being an industry leader, it's not doesn't just happen. 700 million hours is our flight experience. So all that learning, all that experience, all that knowledge translates always from one engine model to the other. So whatever we learn, we bring it forward, and it doesn't differentiate between helicopter engines and fixed wing engines. It's all the same. There's PT6 helicopter engines also. And in helicopters alone, we have 80 million hours. Actually, we were a little bit surprised to see that we're already up to 80 million hours because last time we were tracking to 50, 60 million hours, so it does go fast. So a lot of experience, and I think this is key, and this is what's behind our reliability, our track record and reliability, and of course, what makes us an industry leader. When you look at some of where we are in terms of market, our general aviation with our PT6, obviously we do cover a lot of that market. From a regional turboprop, we do have that market in its entirety with the ATR and the Bombardier. Our business jets is struggling. It's struggling today as it is, just due to the market, but we do have an introduction of our latest PW800, our pure power engine, which is powering the Gulfstream G500 and G600. So we are expecting our business aviation market segment to also grow. And in our helicopters, in the markets that we play, we're about 50% right now. We are working on many different solutions from a customer support perspective that we know this is going to help us grow. But we are also working with our OEMs to accelerate some of their entry into services with the H175 and the AW169, which are the newest additions to the helicopter family. So they're still ramping up, and we know that that's going to go and capture quite a significant part of the market. So again, 100,000th engine this year, so a big milestone, and we will be doing a whole communications plan around it. But it does all feed into where we are. From a helicopter portfolio, just to give you again an idea from what we power, we range from Bell 429, Sikorsky, the MD-902, and I must say that the MD-902, we're celebrating this year 25 years of our PW200 engine, and the first engine was introduced on the MD-902. At the same time, we are also celebrating 20 years supporting and powering the H-135 or the EC-135 helicopter. We will also be celebrating the 2000 C-67C engine, which powers the Augusta Westland 139, Leonardo 139. So a lot of milestones, but again, this is a lot of experience that we have with us and within our portfolio. So you see we have quite a large variety of helicopter engines. There's about 34 different models supporting our helicopter customers. So again, I guess I've kind of mentioned some of these numbers. So we do have 34 models. We have 8,600 engines still in service that we support with our service center network that Tim will talk to you a little bit about. And it's actually 80 million hours accumulated just on helicopters alone, but again, it's the 700 million hours that we incorporate in our engines. And we have been rated also, when we talk about market leader, we have been rated at #1 in customer support for the last 15 years, #1 and #2. And if I look into the 2000s, we were pretty much #1 for each one of those years in the different surveys that were done. So again, you know, we invest in our business, we invest in our helicopter market, and our customers are telling us that, you know, they're happy and that they see it. You want to talk a little bit about the network?
Thanks, Irene. Again, my name is Tim Swell. I run the programs and frontline support and customer service. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, for us, it's all about getting close, staying close, getting closer to our customers. The chart shows our network, 30 of our own owned and designated overhaul centers, 30 million operating hours each year, control centered around 2 C-FIRST centers, 1 in Montreal, 1 in Singapore, where we can serve in greater than 6 languages at any given time. 3 million of those hours are in the helicopter business. 12 training centers offered by Flight Safety International. So we've chosen the best to train, to give our customers the training they need, and 7 parts distribution centers around the world capable of delivering a part to a customer anywhere in the world within 12 hours. So again, it's all about staying close to the customer and continuing to make the investments to keep this network strong. We believe we've built the best network in the business, and we keep making the investments to grow our network as our business grows. You know, part of staying close to the customer is continuing to move to an increasingly frictionless environment and an environment that is more predictable for them. So these are some of the things that we're working on. You know, Irene talked about our leadership position in the business aviation market and in the regional turboprop market, and our FAST solution, which stands for Flight Acquisition, Storage, and Transmission, has really earned its medal in the bizjet market on the Falcon 7X, and with a very strong popularity in the regional turboprops with the Bombardier Q400. And those are markets where strong demand and availability, strong demand for proactive knowledge of what's going to happen to the engine. And we're now bringing that FAST system to the turboshaft market, starting with the AW139. So there's an STC available. Customers can purchase that system as part of their purchase of the aircraft, and we continue to add features. This year we announced a phase 2, which will be implemented this month, where you have automatic power assurance, helping you reduce pilot workload, helping you reduce fuel burn, and then all of those other features that the system gives you, where essentially all of your data, both engine and key information for the aircraft, are automatically transmitted within minutes of landing. So that gives directors of maintenance and operating departments flight operational quality assurance data, dashboarding to understand their faults, and of course, rigorous trending analysis so that they can keep track of their engine, and we can work together to optimize their operating costs and their maintenance costs. We've paired that in the last year with an oil analysis technology trial that we've offered to all of our customers. It's getting very good support. 4,000 customers have signed up for this trial, and we believe we've made a step change in the depth and analysis and accuracy of the oil analysis technology field. We come at this technology from a very different approach. It's getting very good feedback and interest from our customer base. And, lastly, a year ago, we announced the rollout of our P&Wc Power, full e-commerce platform. All of our customers are now enrolled. 21,000 unique users have used the system. 15,000 different technical publications have been viewed and interfaced in high definition. Millions of dollars of parts ordered by our customers to get the AOG support or the zero stock orders that they need. And continue to get good feedback and listen to the customers and make improvements year over year to bring new features to this portal. But it's all about giving them the frictionless environment to do certain interactions online, and then of course we're always there in person to deal with the with the high value transactions and high quality transactions that they want to do person to person. And the last steps, just our commitment to continue to leverage technologies that exist in the industry to continue to bring increased speed to our business. So on-site is a HD live streaming technology that our field reps, our C-First centers, any frontline employee can work with a customer if they have a problem or a question and it's technical and you need to get HD video streaming, annotate, and do complex communication. No matter where our reps are, no matter where we are in the world, no matter where the customer is in the world, we can set up that data connection through an iPhone or an iPad, be looking at the engine in HD imaging, live adapted streaming, annotate it, and get them the answers they need in order to turn the situation around and get them flying again. On continuing that theme of keeping it personal, it's really all about listening to the customer and tailoring solutions, whether it's our response time at C-First or adapting the ESP program such as we did on the PT6, and we announced at NBAA this year, especially for you, a customized approach to ESP for the PT6 market, which is getting great interest and great capture and interest among those customers, or continuing to roll out tailored programs for specific operator segments that we have put under the PW Smart banner. So these are, and I'll talk about those. Of course, the platform of the solution is one thing, but it's really all about tailoring the solution to the specific needs of the customer, whether it's an FMP, whether it's a long-term agreement with a customer. That's where our focus is, to go and get specific business needs, understand their business journey and their business decision paths, and tailor solutions to meet their needs. One of those examples is our smart program. So on the turbo shaft, we have a number of them. They're getting great interest and we're getting repeat customers. These involve flat rate to guaranteed cost, enabling customers who need an inlet barrier filter to go and make that acquisition, and offering some maintenance guarantees and support on our side in order to let the customers do that. Cap cost programs on certain products, or on an aging fleet where operators want to potentially make different decisions in terms of resale value or future exchanges of the programs, exchange programs such as or engine refreshes such as on the PT6 early PT6T series. So with that, I open it up for questions.
Just before we start, just to let you know, you've all received our press releases that haven't even hit the newswire yet. They're all in your inboxes, so you'll have that information handy. And I leave the floor for questions.
Tony Osmond, Aviation Week. Can you give us an idea of what you're doing in terms of engine development work, and in particular because you didn't bother, or you decided not to do an upgraded engine for the H160 a couple of years ago? We took that decision. So could you give us an idea of what you're doing in engine development?
I'll take a shot at it, maybe.
Yeah, I think you'll do a good job.
So I think, we invest every year about, $400 to $500 million Canadian back into E&D across all of our market segments. Where we're putting a big focus right now is on what we call our 2,000 shaft horsepower engine, but we think that's a marketplace both on the prop side and the shaft side. There's a place that we have a hole in our product portfolio right now that we want to fill. So that's what we call our big development program from scratch. But we keep improving the C67, we keep improving the B37, we keep improving the 210s, the 207. So we are investing always in all of our platforms. But the big hole for us we see is 2,000 shaft horsepower. That's where we're putting our focus.
Can you give us an idea of where you are in the development cycle?
Well, I think what we've got a demonstrator program that, is underway to prove the technologies that we want to put into there. It's again, we have a certain philosophy of the PT6 in terms of maintainability, being robust in adverse environments. And we're right now running the demo program to prove out the concept, and that should finish this year. And then at a point where we can launch, and we launch usually when there's an application to launch for, but we'd be in a launch-ready position by the end of the year.
What kind of fuel burn savings would you have over a similar powered PT6?
I think what we're looking at doing is, depending on, PT6 is a big family of engines. So PT6 goes from 500 shaft horsepower to 1800 shaft horsepower in various ranges of SFC. But in the helicopter class that we're talking about here, if we talk about the PT6 C67 type platform, 10 to 15% improvement. That'd be a much bigger number against some of the older PT6s, but yeah.
What are some of the local industries, and by local I mean the North Texas area, what are some of the local companies that you're trying to get your engines into or have your engines into? Bell Helicopter, Lockheed Martin, organizations, Sikorsky. Where are you working with companies like that to have and which ones are you working with?
Well, we're working with every one of our OEMs actually
Okay.
So, we're looking long-term and short-term, and a lot of our OEMs are not necessarily ready right now for the next generation. They want a little bit more on their current models, a little bit more out of the engine. So we are looking at, a little bit more power, let's say, for their current application. So we are working with each one of our OEMs, but we are having those innovation and technology discussions with every one of them, and we are currently in discussions with each of them for their next generation of platforms, leveraging the Taranis engine and some of the other development work that we're doing internally that we're not ready to announce yet, but we are working on many things at the same time right now. So
Okay.
yes, with each one of the ones that you listed, we are working with them.
Not to mention the fleet that exists here in Texas, I would say, across
Yeah.
all of our product lines, and many of our customers also have finishing centers here, for example, take Gulfstream and others. So we've got ties, pretty strong ties to the Texas community and economy.
Okay.
Yeah.